The last two heats extremely close. Heat 3, Lakey Peterson just getting ahead of Michaela Green, and Tyler Wright has just snuck past Paige Harrop in a high-scoring heat. Hoping for more of the same here, but these two, their second round 2 heat in as many events, and it was Nikki getting the jump on Macy down there at Bells Beach.
Yeah, interesting, and that's just fresh in your mind right off the heels of that event. Macy was surfing incredibly well down at Bells Beach, but Nikki had a certain edge that she was bringing to a local event.
And who's going to be on the spot? It's Macy taking that inside position, and we'll see what she can do with it. Draws off the bottom, up into the pocket. A lot of speed through that first move, trying to get to this end section and cram in one more maneuver, but doesn't quite complete that turn. And have a look at this, her board. Maybe a busted leash here, Rosie.
Yeah, so early on in this heat, a bit of an equipment failure there. Did go down hard on that section, I'm sure.
He was just reminding her, hey, there's time. There's still 24 minutes to go here.
Early days, but Macy just laying into that wave, and then the second turn, just right there, just over of the leashes. Let's see what Nikki can do.
Beautiful looking wave outside for Nikki Van Dijk. Ultra aggressive on the first turn. Grabs that rail to hold on to control. Just the one move. But I love just how critical that turn was.
An explosive approach from Nikki Van Dijk. We know that that innovative, progressive approach is going to score big points with the judges. You can see Nikki really wanted to double it up with a second scoring maneuver there. But beautiful first turn from Nikki. Love the aggression, love the fact that she's just going for it in every circumstance at board. But Nikki Van Dijk, I love this maneuver from her. She just gets compact on that bottom turn, grabs that rail, lip line, slide through. Could maybe held onto that rail a little bit too long, but look at this beautiful transition through this maneuver. Super critical, progressive approach, explosive, holds on right there. Feel like she could have just let it go a little bit and maybe slid down and transitioned into that second maneuver, but beautiful surfing from Nikki Van Dijk right out of the gates, bringing something new, fresh and exciting that we haven't seen all morning. Interesting to see that first exchange. We know that those ladies were hustling for that inside position, but Nikki got the better of it.
And she's up once again, drawing off the bottom, up into the pocket one more time. Beautiful spray coming off the rail of her board, attacks the pocket again, but falls this time.
Beautiful first maneuver from Nikki, and unfortunately going down on that second, you could tell her eye-line wasn't following through with that maneuver, and she was looking ahead to what she could couple up on the inside section.
Still pretty well rewarded on that last ride as well, so a 3.3 for this one.
Watch the release of the tail right there. You see her just kind of extend through that maneuver, and then watch that eye-line. Just had to get the head and shoulders following through to complete that maneuver. Beautiful surfing from Nikki though.
17.5 minutes to go here. Macy trying to get herself back in this heat, looking for a 6.8. Has some big carving turns that she can lean on. She lets go of a couple to get started here, but really wasn't feeling that there was enough impact in those first maneuvers to warrant chasing that end section down the line. More lines approaching here. Priorities with Nikki Van Dijk. She also has the lead at the moment. Macy had a 2.6 on the last wave, so not enough to get into the lead. And Nikki an opportunity to push further ahead here. Trying to get rid of a 3.3. First turn was strong. Wants to finish this one off. And just hammering this wave right through to the inside. Beautiful conditions now.
Nikki Van Dijk taking off, delaying, but that pivot right there, that touch of on the bottom turn. And then again, just timing that second section and laying that rail into this wave. It's so important to couple up those maneuvers, show a bit of variety, but Nikki's really putting a little bit of extra effort into her turns from last season to this season. You can see what she's been working on. She knows she's going to have to add a bit of aggression to her surfing if she's going to overcome Macy. Love how confident Nikki's looking at the moment.
Macy's starting to really open those shoulders up and draw these turns out. She brings this one through to the inside, dodging rocks on her road to the closeout, but doesn't get the big finish. 15 minutes to go. Good exchange here. Nikki got a lot of scoring opportunity out of that wave, though.
She doesn't go too far out on the open face. That's what we've been seeing this morning, is just how important it is to stay in that critical section. Macy, you see that drop. She kind of delays that bottom turn. Beautiful opening carve from Macy. So just solid, just rail surfing from her. She stays in that top third, which allows her to get that speed to go into her next maneuver. Unfortunately, this wave kind of fattened out on the face and a couple of lateral maneuvers. I mean, that was really the maneuver that stood out to me in that heat. So for Tyler, her surfing, it's looking great. She's on through to round 3.
And she'll probably look to step things up as she progresses through the rounds. Someone who's really ramping up her performance at the moment is Nikki Van Dijk. Up once again, a 6.7 on her last wave, pushing her further ahead. And she's now trying to get rid of her first ride, a 6.5, to make life really difficult for the 17-year-old Macy Callaghan, who actually dropped her best number on her last ride, a 5.43. So just when she was getting herself back in the heat, Nikki, she started to really finish her waves off. From the outset, Van Dijk has looked very dangerous.
This is the surfing I like to see, just that opportunity for both surfers. Nikki takes off. She wants to wait for this section to stand up for her to really dig in. She drops that back knee, controls it through that flat section, and then finishes it off clean. So we'll see if that'll go into her top 2. For me, Nikki, I mean, that wave, if it offered that bowley section, she would have been ready to attack it. Her timing, everything is looking great. She just needs that little bit of opportunity to make connection with that lip.
Welcome back to the show. The second round underway here. Heat 5 in the lineup. Macy Callaghan up against Nikki Van Dijk. Macy had priority, but let Nikki go this wave. Let's see if she can turn in a bigger number than a 6.5 and push further ahead. Flowing beautifully at the moment. Gets a pretty decent finish on the inside, just over 7 minutes to go.
Just stepping it up, knowing that Nikki's throwing her all. I love that delayed bottom turn. There's a lot of time to contemplate this first maneuver from Nikki. Throws a lot of spray. Finds a second carve, but then this third turn right there to finish it off. It's just a well bookended wave for me. That first maneuver strong and then finishing it off was something explosive.
And Macy now looking for a big reply. Nice big hooking carve on the outside. Again, goes to that rail, drawing those turns out nicely, but needs to vary up her approach on those turns to match it with the variety of Nikki Van Dijk.
Agreed, Ronnie. Those 2 opening maneuvers from Macy, beautiful, stylish turns, but a little bit repetitive, but beautiful laying down of the rail, carving maneuver, a bit of froth on the face, and then brings it back around again. So Macy just...
I think confidence has a lot to do with it, but working well with Stace Galbraith, her coach, to really refine her technique. She's up once again. Her last wave was a 6.93. It did push the requirement higher. Macy Callaghan now looking for an 8.2. I don't think this wave's going to factor in. A pretty heavy wipeout on the inside.
Yeah, you saw in that second turn, on the bottom turn, those fins just disengaging for a minute. You saw that was a bigger wave, a bit more water pushing. So unfortunately on that last maneuver, a little bit late to meet that lip.
For the draw earlier today. Macy Callaghan with a minute to go, chasing down an 8.2. Beautiful first turn, plenty of speed for the second as well. Another big hack out onto the open face. Slicing through maneuver number 3. Can she get a finish on the inside here? Has to try and stick something on the end of this ride. Unfortunately, that's the lottery of the inside section here at main break. Sometimes it stands up, it gives you an opportunity to lock in big points with a committed turn, and sometimes it really lays back. So Nikki Van Dijk just wants to make sure of the victory here. 25 seconds to go. Great first turn. Second turn, strong as well. And right in the face of Macy Callaghan there on the inside. Lets a solid third maneuver go. And this might even go into Nikki's top 2.
I agree with you, Ron. Strong, solid performance from Nikki. Can't pick a hole in anything she did in that heat. Just strategically perfect in my mind. Just incredible positioning in the lineup. But first turn, just a whip under the pocket. I love the way that she comes down with a lot of speed. Combos it up. And a bit more variety in the turns that she was doing. That was, Macy has got that one wrap down to perfection, like I was saying, and she was able to do 3 of them. It was beautiful surfing, but I'd just say just lacking a little bit in that variety. And if she can just find a point of difference in those maneuvers, she'll be getting scores up in that excellent range.
One of the most confident and complete performances that we've seen from Nikki Van Dijk.